Get ready for some creepy urban legends from Delaware. Historically, lighthouses have been built as a beacon of safety for mariners. Well, what happens when it's a phantom light? Because why not? Cape Henlopen State Park is a perfect candidate for a lighthouse. It's right along the shore, rocky terrain, but there's no physical lighthouse on location there. However, there have been reports of a blinking and flashing light from the shoreline. As an indigenous curse due to British colonizers coming in, raiding a wedding, and massacring guests. Rude. Its purpose is to be an omen to sink ships. It's done its job. It's brought down ships to Davy Jones' locker, including one that brought down 200 crew members with it. I feel the name of this phenomenon, though, is a bit more scary than the actual story itself. But like and follow for more and be ready for some creepy urban legends from Delaware. The sinister story behind this state park will give you chills. Known for being the largest freshwater pond in the state, the Lums Pond State Park is also the home of a gruesome murder. The story dates back to the 1870s, and it's said that a young woman had run away from home and sought shelter in the forest behind the pond for the night. Definitely not Hilton accommodations. There she met her ultimate end when she ran into a crazed man who was also seeking shelter. He assaulted her, raped her, and ended her life. Right where the trail is blazed to this day. Convenient. The killer was never apprehended, and it's said that, still to this day, the muffled cries and screams can be heard when all is quiet in the wilderness. The place is open for camping to this day. Would you be brave enough to go? Like and follow for more, and get ready for some creepy urban legends from Delaware. Frankfort, Delaware is the location of Longa Cemetery, which claims to be the home of a ghost. Shocking, I know. This isn't your average specter, though. This is a feline-human hybrid that was colloquially termed Catman. Now, this wasn't some vigilante superhero. This was an actual person who did live in the area, and he was a caretaker for the cemetery. Legend states that he's still around to protect the cemetery to this day, scaring away young teens who want to rave to the grave. There used to be a mausoleum on the property, which it said that if someone were to knock on the brick 3 times, he would appear and mess with your car. The mausoleum was torn down because of vandalism, because, we can't ever have anything nice. But would you visit the Catman of Long Cemetery? Let me know what you think. Like and follow for more, and ready for some creepy urban legends from Delaware. Having a funeral is pretty much standard practice for everyone at the end stage of your life, but have you heard of the time that townspeople held a funeral for a ghost? This is going to be a longer one so that I can do this story justice, so stick with me. Now, in the 1700s, there was this man by the name of Samuel Chew. He was the Chief Justice for the Supreme Court of the state of Delaware up until his escape from life in 1744. At any point in history, people will be people, and he was mocked, and pretty much the way that they would go about it is fake sneezing. Achoo! Overall, he was admired, and the people of Dover, they loved him because he was fair and just in all aspects of his life. However, when he passed, the people that did not like him and mocked him did it more. From beyond the grave, though, he was done, and these mockers messed around and found out. The first account really feels more like a wrong place, wrong time kind of situation, because our first story comes from a farmer who was heading into town to go to a tavern for a night of drinking. Mr. Chew's black-robed spirit rose up into the moonlight. The farmer, cold and scared, started sneezing, much to the disapproval of Mr. Chew's spirit. The remnants of Mr. Chew began chasing the farmer home. The farmer told his wife about this frightening ordeal, and she goes and gossips to the neighbors. Within a couple of days, the whole story is spread across the town. Enough time went by that people eventually forgot, until the next encounter occurred to a man who had openly mocked Mr. Chew in his life with the fake sneeze, a local miller to the town of Dover. The man was on his way home on a windy night and dropped his lantern. Naturally, he bent over to pick it up, and when he returned to his feet, the ghost of Mr. Chu was standing right directly in front of him. From that point on, people began staying in at night. The taverns and bars were empty, and businesses were starting to worry and be concerned about how they were going to pay their bills. So the town came together and decided that they were going to hold a second funeral for Mr. Chu, this time for his ghost. Allegedly putting together an elaborate funeral service, the townspeople buried an empty casket for Mr. Chu's spirit. This seemed to have appeased the ghost as the sightings and occurrences decreased. What do you think? Like and follow for more, and